What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Now, we are checking out some more of my new friend, Jesse Lee Peterson. And some people might say he's only your friend because you like petty stuff. Well, this brother is the pettiest of all petties, all right? Of all petties. And I love it, all right? You can't tell me that it ain't a good thing. What he does is he exposes people on their hypocrisies. That's what he does. And I enjoy that, because if you're going to be all the loudest in the room, blaming something on somebody else, then guess what? Phew, let me show you yourself. Let me show you your mirror. Like Jordan B. Peterson says, you need to make up your own bed. All right. And a lot of people don't. They just start pointing fingers at other people. Anyway, he's sitting down with someone else from Black Lives Matter. Let's check it out. Yes, sir. This is going to be good.
There was a woman by the name of Abdullah. I think Melina. What's her first? You ever heard of her?
Mm-hmm.
What's her first name?
Her name is Melina.
Melina.
Abdullah.
Abdullah.
Dr. Melina Abdullah.
Yeah, such an evil woman. Why would they let a woman like that teach at a university and corrupt other black?
My man says such an evil woman.
Why would they let a woman like that teach at a university and corrupt other black students who are coming through there with that kind of wickedness?
Well,
You ever heard of her?
I know Melina very well. She's my sister. She is.
Oh, you know her?
She's my former chair.
She's your sister?
Well, yes, my sister's sister. She's my sister because.
Oh, your black sister's
my
sister.
black sister.
Oh, why would do you associate with a woman like that?
As often as I can.
But she's so evil. Aren't you concerned?
Have you met her?
She's the co-founder of Black Lives Matter.
I guess my question is, why are you calling her evil?
Because that organization is evil, so evil produces evil and good produces good, right?
Well, why?
But what's your impression of that
Evil.
organization and that
Okay.
woman?
My impression of Melina, of Black Lives Matter as a whole, I think that they're doing good work. I think it's necessary. It's not for everybody. I'm not a member, so to speak, for Black Lives Matter, but I do what I can.
Are you a Christian?
I am.
And you agree with those people? Oh, Melissa,
I believe that Black Lives Matter.
do you agree with those people?
I believe Black Lives Matter.
How about with this Black Lives Matter organization? You agree with them?
I don't know everything about the intricacies of their philosophies.
They're evil.
But I have not come across any evil. I've worked with some of
What
the
do we
national
want
leadership.
that? Pigs in the blanket. What do we want? Dead cops. Is that evil?
So I think that part of that is that's not necessarily like the leadership. That when you have a movement,
But they have to take responsibility.
they do have to
organize
take
the
responsibility for it. But if they're asking for dead cops or pigs in a blanket, then that's a reaction from the community.
No, but formed by Black Lives Matter.
Formed by Black Lives Matter may come and they may help to galvanize these groups, but individuals are going to say what they can't be held responsible for every single individual opinion.
Is that evil?
You might want to still, she's really trying to protect her friends and the organization, which she's really trying to protect them. Not necessarily protect them. She's trying to save face. Like, she don't want to say anything disrespectful about them, especially if she still associates with them, because they're going to see her. She's going to go to the meetings. She don't want to go back to the meetings and have said something like, yeah, they are evil, and they shouldn't have said that. Pigs in a blanket, killing cops, yeah, they deserve to go to jail. They just rot in prison. That's what they deserve. Nah, she's not going to do that because she's associated with them. So it might seem like she's trying to protect them, but she's actually trying to protect herself.
What evil?
What do we want? Pigs in the blanket, dead cops, and screaming for that.
I mean, I think
Is that
to
evil
ask for
to
anybody,
chant that kind of stuff?
I think any murder of innocent life is evil.
So how about chanting, what do we want? Pigs in the blanket. What do we want? Dead cops. Is that evil?
I have never heard that chant.
Come on.
I haven't.
You have heard that.
I have never heard of. I have never heard
I'm
a group of
surprised you're
people.
switching on me.
I'm being honest with you.
You never heard chanting in the street.
We
what
want
do we
dead
want?
cops?
Dead cops.
No, I have
in
never
New
heard
York
that.
and places like that.
I haven't.
If it's true what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is that evil?
I think it's misguided.
Is it
no.
evil?
I don't think it's no. I don't.
Is
think
it
evil.
love?
It's not love.
So it has to be evil, right?
Maybe it's indifference.
That's evil. How about if white people would chant?
Okay, what's going to happen is, what's not going to happen is she's never going to answer that question. What is going to happen is Jesse Peterson will continue to ask the question. She's not going to answer that at all.
Well, let me
What
ask
do we want? Blacks in the blanket. What do we want? Dead blacks. Would
Yeah.
that be evil?
She's not going to answer it.
it would not be love.
Would it be evil?
It wouldn't be right.
Would it be evil?
She's not
For
going to
white
answer it.
people to chant that they want to see bodies dead in the street, that's pretty evil.
So when the Black Lives Matter people did it, was it evil?
Well, when black people lower ourselves to when we begin to adopt the mentalities that have already been oppressive to us, we don't need to exchange one oppression for the other. So in other words, I don't need to see dead cops to make me feel better about, or that's not going to even the playing field for the fact that police officers have killed black bodies.
She's speaking as one person, so she's not trying to represent. She's trying to separate herself from Black Lives Matter when answering. What's the opposite of the affirmative? When she asks, when she's speaking against the act, she don't want them to be attached, but she will put herself there personally and say, "Well, I don't think that deed of killing anyone will solve anything. So for myself, I wouldn't do it, but I'm not gonna call it evil. I don't call her. She know what Jesse's doing.
Is it
For me-
evil when they chant that, Black Lives Matter people?
I don't think that I wouldn't call it evil, because I
Amazing.
think that it's reactionary. I think it's mob. It is reactionary, and maybe
But
they do
not
want
evil
to see.
to call for the death of cops,
I think it's misguided.
but not evil.
I mean, I hear you where you want to force me into the corner.
No, he's not trying to force you into a corner. What he wants you to do is just face the reality that an organization that big, clearly people listen to them. And if they're saying kill cops, what's the likelihood of just one out of the hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people who support them? What's the likelihood of one person saying, okay, I'll take up the mantle, I'll do that? Now, if they had the power to call on something like that for somebody to be murdered, for a public servant to be murdered, then you need to answer that. Yes, he wants to have a conversation, but he also wants you to admit to what you know to be true already. You just refuse because you're protecting your homies and you're protecting yourself. And that's unfortunate, because y'all aren't going to get anywhere like that. Y'all just going to sit there and play mental gymnastics all daggone day. And you know for a fact that no matter how many times you can limbo jump yourself over these questions, they're still there. They're in your mind already. You're trying to figure it out. And if you had an answer, you will give one. And hopefully you will want your answer to be a help for Black Lives Matter, but it's not going to be. Because he's already set it up. He's already asked, is it evil? Now, it's on you. The onus is on you to say, murder is not evil. When you already said you're a Christian, and you're not going to say that.
No, I
Right?
just want to hear.
That's saying
I'm
that-
just asking a specific question.
But Black
Is it
Lives
evil?
Matter is more than just the people. If people are chanting and asking for dead bodies, then it doesn't have love. That's really all
When they
that I
ask
can
for
say.
dead cops, is that evil?
I just think it's wrong.
How about evil?
It's not right.
Is it
it's
evil?
not kind.
Is it evil?
It's not nice.
How about evil?
I wouldn't use that word.
So are you saying no, it's not evil?
I would say I wouldn't use that word.
You wouldn't use the word evil?
I have to know the context.
If white people were chanting, what do we want? Dead black cops, would that be
Dead
evil?
black cops.
Would that
well,
be
that's
evil?
very different. That's not what the Black Lives.
If they would, Black Lives Matter hate white cops.
If
So
but
if
see-
white people were chanting, what do we want? Dead cops, referring to the black cops, would that be evil?
Let me say this. If in this what do you call this, hypothetical situation, that if white people have been experiencing the type of actions from the police that black folks have experienced here in this country for all this time, then if they were making that chant, then it's a different world. So I don't really deal too much in hypotheticals. We have plenty of reality, so I don't know how it would respond, but I know that I have heard plenty of white groups who are chanting who have chanted very evil things about
So it is
black
even
people.
when white people do it about blacks.
When they, let me put it like this. It is, what is the word?
She got to get comfortable and everything to try to set it up so it's something that will be palatable for her. It needs to, it got to taste good for her. If it doesn't, she can't say it. So that's why she's fidgeting. That's why she's trying to get comfy. Like, she does not, you're not going to get her to attach that word evil to Black Lives Matter at all. Not one bit. No matter how many times you try to do it, ain't gonna happen.
Is without love. And you use the word evil, but I think that is too narrow. I think it's, and this is where I talk about like maybe complexity, that there's just more to it than to say because they said that makes them evil. It's not that simple.
Yes, it is.
For me.
It's evil. But I gotta ask you a real quick question.
And let me just say this, please, may I?
Yeah.
That Melina Abdullah is a great leader. She is a good heart, a good spirit.
She's a coward.
And I've never seen her express any cowardice towards.
Melina Abdullah is a great leader, is a great person. She's a coward. I tell you, and his facial expression never changes. I think that's something that pisses these people off, because he looked like such a nice guy, but he says some things that really make them extremely upset at him. Like, they're just ready to box. Like, I just want to jump across the table and just punch you in your neck.
She's a coward.
And I've never seen her express any cowardice towards anyone, anywhere.
We tried to get on the show. She's too afraid to come on.
That's not why
coward.
She's not here. That's not why she's
Tell
not
her
here.
I said, you know her?
I know her.
Tell her she's a coward.
I don't need to tell her that.
Tell
she
her
knows
I said
that.
it.
Well, she'll see. Maybe she'll see it.
She's an evil, nasty coward.
She's none of those things.
No, she's a coward.
But I can understand why she wouldn't want to come and have this conversation.
I know a coward when I see a coward.
She's
Dr.
already
Abdullah Melina is a coward.
Well, that's your opinion on it. She
Okay.
may say the same about you.
But I face her anytime,
That's not
anywhere, anyhow, anytime.
But cowardice is not necessarily just being able to sit and have a conversation. That's not
But she
the
doesn't even have the
extent of it.
nerve to do that.
Well, maybe she doesn't have the desire.
What it is, you have to agree with her for her to come in, right? If you don't agree
know.
with her, she doesn't have. But I got to ask you this.
Okay.
When will the social justice warrior people know that enough is enough? When they say, okay, white people, y'all have given us all that we want. We are now equal. What will have to happen for them to know
That's
that?
a good question. I don't know what we know, and I talk about this all the time in my class. How do you know when you achieve justice?
Right.
It's very subjective. It's individual. Some people may feel that justice has already been served. Some people feel that there's nothing left to fight for. But I think that when we know,
if black people
we'll know.
were raised by good parents.
I'm going to say this because this young lady, she's actually extremely respectful. She's very intelligent. She's very nice. Apparently, she's very loyal too. I like the way that she's handling herself. I will say that. I wish that she would be more straight, but I understand why she's not. Because when it comes to these type of situations, she understands that I'm sitting across from someone who does not care for, does not like, and has nothing but negative things to say about my friends. These are her friends. They're not her they're not her co-workers or anything like that. Those are her friends. And she's going to have to see them again. That's why even going 6 minutes without even talking about Melina Abdullah, she has to make sure she brings her up and say, look, I got to take up for her just because she is going to see this. She knows that she's going to see it. And she also said, well, I understand why she wouldn't want to come sit across from you and have this conversation. It's because she herself is uncomfortable and understand that the hot seat is not comfortable at all. Shout out to her for being an educator, because she said that in her class she teaches things. So much love to educators. But I was wondering, who is this because she's not saying too much about Black Lives Matter. She's sympathizing with Black Lives Matter, but she's not saying anything about them in a way of, this is what we're trying to do, this is what we want. This is why we do what we do. Now, she separates herself from Black Lives Matter, actually. She says she's not even a part of the organization.
When we know,
If black people
We'll know.
were raised by good parents, they had a father and a mother in the home who were good examples, who taught them to work, to be responsible, to treat others as they treat themselves, would they be crying social justice stuff?
yeah, I think it's important. I
would-
think that this
they
is
would
what
still be doing
America.
it?
This is what America is. No, America is about. It is founded on revolution. It's founded on rebellion.
But not against, white people founded this country, right, and created the greatest country in the world. They didn't mean for the blacks to be carrying on like this.
I know. That's what's so great about it.
But,
Because
no, but they're so destructive. Black
because
people,
the
have
plan-
you noticed that black people only purpose on life is to destroy and not to build? They destroy neighborhoods, they destroy families, they destroy white people.
I have to disagree with you on that, Jesse Lee Peterson. Black people's only purpose in life is to destroy. Why would you say that, brother? Jesse Lee Peterson, if you know Jesse Lee Peterson and or you have his ear, or he responds to your emails, your texts, your DMs, or anything like that, please ask him in this video right here at minute about 8:30 of his original video. The link will be below. Why he said that, because I don't agree with that at all. I don't subscribe to that at all. I want to know why he says that. I think he's trying to get under her skin. I think that's the only reason why he's saying it. But I do want to know why he said that, because that's not something to say. I understand you trying to get under her skin and everything, but that part right there, nah, I'm not rolling with that one. I definitely would like to hear from him or anyone who understands him in the comments why he would say something like
To
that.
build, they destroy neighborhoods, they destroy families, they destroy white people. You could let them into a decent neighborhood, they'll destroy it. You let them into a decent white university, they destroy it. You let them on the job, they destroy it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
I do not.
Yes, you
I have
do.
no clue what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
I know you know. We're going to have coffee because you know.
Yeah. The last bit of this conversation was a bit uncomfortable. I'm gonna let you know that right now, because I don't subscribe to that. Saying that black people were just blanket an entire group of individuals, especially your own group. That doesn't come off to me as kosher. It doesn't. The rest of it, I completely understand, because from the way that he looks at things and the way that he sees the world, Black Lives Matter is doing some evil sugar honey iced tea. When he was speaking on that, and I'm still looking it up for myself so I can fully understand all sides of everything, because I'm not the type of person that fully buy into anybody, not one person. And if you watch any of my videos, you'll see that Ben Shapiro people had things to say about me for saying things about Ben Shapiro, although I agree with a great majority of what he says. Jordan B. Peterson, same thing. There's a couple of things that I said about him that I caught in his videos that he said. When I hear something that doesn't come off right to me, I have to speak on it. And if you have the knowledge or the patience to break it down to me and answer the part of the video that I had concern about, feel free, because I want to hear it. But overall, man, I think this guy's hilarious. I think he means well, except for when he says the last statement, because that last statement could be extremely divisive. That's what I want to get across to you all. If you're still watching this right now, that last statement is, and I'm not with the divisive stuff. Not at all. I can care less if it makes you laugh. I don't care if it entertains you so much and you can't wait for that type of dramatization when it comes to these conversations. What I firmly believe is that these conversations extend past the actual conversation and go over into the culture. They go out into the streets, into the neighborhoods, into the urban communities that he's speaking about. And I think that if he have a certain type of discourse between these people who go back to these communities and they add to these meetings of Black Lives Matter or any other meetings, I think that they should go back with something productive that Jesse Lee Peterson might have said or might have discussed with them. All right. That's just me though. But I want to hear what y'all got to say about this in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual. Love y'all.